Welcome back to Afternoon Live. So we know that new parents go through a ridiculous amount of stress with changes after the baby arrives, but that doesn't mean your sex life has to come to a screeching halt, does it? Here with advice on rekindling the passion after the baby, we welcome back couples therapist Megan Meganson is with us. Megan, you always come with such great advice about things that I think people need to hear about, they want to hear about, but we're not necessarily talking about.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad this show is making space to talk about some really important issues.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Yes.
After a baby, there are so many changes, bodily changes, sleep changes, just energy, and overall viewing how you view your partner.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you can get that intimacy back.
Absolutely.
Can you get it back the same way, or does it just sort of change or shift?
Well, you know, I think everyone's different, first of all. So anything we say here today, it might apply to someone watching or it might not.
Sure.
So we need to, you know, make space for flexibility. But in general, I would say having a baby changes everything about your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
About your body, your emotions, your relationship. So it isn't fair for us to assume our relationships are going to be exactly the same after we have a baby as they were before.
That's good. So maybe if we kind of change our expectations, we manage them a little bit.
That's right. I think that we first have to take a look at where we are in our relationship. And we have to get back to the basics, especially when it comes to reestablishing a sexual relationship.
Right.
So if you've had a baby recently, I would invite you to consider, when is the last time you and your partner had a meaningful moment together? A nice hug, sitting together on the couch. Let's not jump all the way to sexual activity.
Okay.
Let's start back at the basics of reestablishing a loving, playful relationship with each other.
Well, that's good, because I think most people, if you've had a baby, the last thing you want to do is anything that involves sex right away.
Right.
And I don't think you can necessarily right away either.
You definitely can't. And I think a lot of us get caught in that dichotomy of it's sex or it's nothing. But I want us to remember that this is about connection, right? How do I connect with my partner? And as we start to rekindle the flame of our erotic relationship, it starts with making sure we are emotionally connected. So let's ask ourselves questions. How can we stay connected physically and emotionally in ways that don't require sexual touch at all?
Sure. Is it not sexy to have the conversation, or can it be sexy to have that
You know,
talk?
I think it's okay for it not to be sexy. Right, not
everything
everything
doesn't have to be, right?
Yeah.
That's so much pressure.
That's so much pressure. I mean, if you're both sleep deprived, you know, you've got like a crying baby on your chest, you're breastfeeding, there's laundry all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't really know a scenario in which you can have a sexual, sexy conversation in that context.
Right.
Let's lower the bar.
Yeah, no, I can just imagine that. Put the baby on the boob and let's talk about this sex thing, babe.
Let's just have, you know, it's not going to be a fun, exciting, erotic conversation in the same way it might have been back when you were dating.
Sure.
But it can definitely be an intimate conversation. Like, okay, here we are at this new phase in our relationship. It's been 6 weeks since we really touched each other in a meaningful way. How about when the baby goes down for a nap, we snuggle on the couch and watch a movie? Let's start there.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, start at the basics. You don't have to jump back into something more intensive. You need to start at the beginning and rebuild that connection back up.
Okay, so now we've started to sort of start up a little connecting again, or reconnecting. Then what?
Yes, so we're taking care of our friendship. We're starting to reconnect through affectionate touch. And the next thing I want to say is slow and steady wins the race. So when it comes to integrating more erotic or sexual activities back into your repertoire, start slow. Don't jump all the way to the end of the line.
Right, on the deep end. You may drown.
Especially for the female partner, the one who's given birth, there might be some big concerns about how your body's going to respond to touch, to pleasure. You might be afraid of pain.
Totally.
So we need to take those aspects into consideration. One thing that I recommend is that women explore self-stimulation first before trying to be sexual with their partner, so that they can get an understanding of what it's going to be like in their body post-baby. It's probably going to be different than it was before.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, at least, you know, you kind of can guide your partner then, knowing some territory, at least, before you get in there and have a debacle.
That's right. And you can be with your body first, see if anything's going to hurt, or are there any tender points.
Right.
And that really lowers the stress. If you have your partner with you the first time, you don't know what to anticipate. It could be really anxiety provoking. So let's just make it easier on everybody.
Full-on disaster.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so okay, we've done all that. So we're at the basics, we're reconnecting. I've, learned where, what feels comfortable, what feels good, what may not be so good and stay away from. So now what?
Now we can start pulling it all together, right? If your friendship's doing great, if you're feeling connected, if you've experimented with some sexual touch in your own body, and you as a woman are feeling ready to walk into something more erotic, start having that conversation. Clear communication is key at this point in your relationship, and it doesn't have to be sexy. So if we need to have a pre-game talk about what our, game plan is, what are we going to do here, what are we going to try, do it outside of the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, talk about it first so you know what to expect. I know it doesn't feel spontaneous, it doesn't feel like movie sex, and it's not, and that's not where you are in your life right now, so
and it's
embrace
really not
it.
real. It's not all that real.
That's
Sometimes
right.
it could be, but not all the time. So this is the new normal.
This is the new normal. So it comes back to what you were saying earlier about resetting your expectations.
Yeah, got to do it.
You have to.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You are
always
so welcome.
Such great advice, and I know you're helping people out here, so I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm glad.
All right, we're going to have more information about Megan and her tips on our website for you at KATU.com. Thanks so much for hanging with us. That's our show for this Monday afternoon. Come on back tomorrow. Pat the Wine Guy will be here with tips on how to throw a fabulous summer wine party. Plus, speaking of parties, the 4th of July is almost here, and we have great party ideas for the 4th too. And we are going to have a real life, are you ready for this? Professional fire eater here. Oh, so exciting. So we will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and hang on, because K2 News at 4 starts right now.
Now on K2.